really do think that confidence is a huge part of looking good, and I know it's kind of difficult to pinpoint exactly what that is, but it really just comes down to loving yourself and loving, really just embracing it. The more you fight it, is the less you enjoy it, and the whole point is to have fun. That fashion is not like, rocket science, it's just fun, and I think if you look at it that way every day, then it really enlightens your life, and every day is enjoyable, and to me that's the key. And easier said than done sometimes, but it's just
it's kind of firstly being comfortable in your own skin.
Absolutely. I think once you do that, then you make the good choices. You can have a stylist, and if you can afford that, great. But if you can't, then you kind of dig deep and you find your own most solid place, and you'll really embrace it, and you love who you are, and it shows. That shows. It doesn't matter what you're wearing at that point. But I do think that I know myself. When I'm in my best days, it just like happens like that. I don't have to. Some days you just you try one thing on, you try one thing on, you try 10 things on, nothing works.
I had that yesterday.
Exactly. And usually that's because you're either tired or sorry, I'm sure you're hearing that. You're either tired or you're irritable for some reason, but then your good days, you just you don't have any problems.
Yeah, you bounce with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So how would you define your sense of style?
Well, it's always evolving. I love prints, as you probably know from watching the show. And then I've always been, the way I dress is usually inspired by whatever I'm just sort of feeling at the time. Right now, because I cut my hair, I've sort of gone into this more...
I'm liking the style, by the way.
Thanks. A little bit more rock and roll than I was before. Before this, I was doing a lot of American Indian style prints, Navajo type stuff that just also so happened to be in fashion, but I just loved it. And then I kind of got tired of that, and then once I cut my hair, then everything changed. Then I started buying a lot of snakeskin, a lot of more leather, and I've never done that before. And I think that's what's fun about really being frivolous about fashion. You don't have to be one thing. My style has changed so many times.
You can constantly reinvent yourself.
Yes.
Depending on the mood, because I do that sometimes. Sometimes I can be a little vixen.
Right.
And sometimes I can dress a little bit like I'm going to the office today.
Exactly. So I think right now it's definitely it's always edgy. I think I always like things that are pushing the boundaries a little bit. But then when you live in cities like London, you never stand out anyway. Everybody looks so fabulous. So it just depends also on where you are, where you live, all sorts of things. So. Yeah.
And menswear, because obviously people think fashion tends to be linked to women only.
Right.
What about the brothers? What are you doing for the men out there?
There's nothing sexier than a well-dressed man.
I agree with you right there. I agree with you right there.
I think for men it's the same thing about confidence, but I think for men, and this goes for women too, but particularly for men, because they don't have as many options of items of clothing, I think fit is 100% top of the list priority. And that's something a lot of men don't pay attention to. When you wear a suit where the seams of the shoulders lie, that's when a woman looks at a man and says, oh, what's
warrior.
Going on here?
I have a terminology, I call it the warrior look.
Yeah.
That's the man that you can end up marrying, you can think that could be the father of my baby.
Right, just because his jacket fits right.
Spot on.
No. But not exactly.
Me anyway. I'm a bit fickle.
No, but I do think it speaks volumes when you pay attention. When a man, you can tell he's paid attention to his shoes. I think socks are really important.
Definitely.
The little things make a big difference for a man because, like I said, they only have 5 things that they can wear for the whole life, So if they choose wisely, then I think it goes a long way.
And is that are you going to be stepping into menswear as well?
I'd like to. It's definitely not something that I think I'll do right away. I want women's wear to sort of be my initial push, and that is what I've been doing for a few years. But I have 5 brothers, and I cannot tell you how many times they ask me, and all the men I know ask me, when are you doing menswear? It would be ridiculously, stupid of me to not pay attention to that, and because there's a huge market for it.
I think so, because I can't be dealing with the kind of saggy pants look where I'm seeing half your backside showing, and even I regularly go back home, TNT, and I've been to other islands across the Caribbean and elsewhere, and I think that our brothers need to kind of fix up, look sharp as we call it. Well, they need help.
It's improving. I have to say the last few years have shown a genuine sort of change in how men are paying attention, getting over the taboo of like caring about how you look, because that has been part of it. Now it's like they're like, whatever, I want to look good, you know. So it's changing for sure.
So from all these other aspects and angles, as I said, you've come at it from being a beauty queen, you've started designing your own line, Project Runway, you've got other things in the pipeline. Is there anything left that we don't know that you've kind of thinking, oh, I want to do that next?
You know, in the back of my mind, I've always wanted to sing, but I can't sing. So
join the club.
Yeah.
But then there's what do they call it? Auto tunes.
Right, I know.
If certain celebrities can get out there and do it and make money off of it, I'm sure the rest of us.
Yeah, but nobody really takes those people seriously, so I don't.
They make money out of it.
That's true.
But again, I'm sure you want to kind of have that level of respect attached to your name and whatever you do anyway.
Yeah, and I think that you know, it's always good when you just embrace the best that you are good at, and I think, well, I've always wanted to be involved with Trinidad and Tobago and pushing it as far as it can go, inviting people to come there. That's why I'm here this week, and I think that the sky is the limit, really. You know, I'm a very creative person. I enjoy all forms of creativity, and I know that my career will evolve and I don't really overthink it. I think that's why I tend to enjoy it more, because I was never the one in school who knew exactly when they were going to have their first child, and when, you know, like I'm not that type of person.
I know that feeling as well. I thought I would have had it by now, but still, I'll just go with the flow.
No, you go with the flow, and it all works out. So.
Anya, it was so lovely chatting with you.
It was a pleasure.
Wish you all the best in your future ventures.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.